If you want to immigrate and you are applying for jobs online, you are likely seeing you must have a visa first or similar in most of the job ads. And you're probably wondering how to get through this catch-22 situation. Now, in this video, I will walk you through the top 3 reasons that this happens. Plus, I will show you how to avoid this catch-22 situation and get through to your overseas employers. I'm Zarelsi, an international career strategist and migration mentor. And during the last 2 decades, I have helped hundreds of international candidates and immigrants land their dream jobs abroad from offshore, that's from a distance, without applying for jobs online. Now, most people have no clue about what precedes an international job search strategy. For example, how their eligibility requirements and skills assessment affect their job search. Therefore, they easily fall into this trap of the catch-22 visa issue. And if you have followed due process before your job search, this will not be such a big issue for you and it will make it easier. So to help you with this, I created a free resource for you if you are an immigrant job seeker. If you go to the link on the screen now, elitecareermentor.com/immigration, there's a free resource with many tools to help you as an immigrant job seeker figure out where to start, whether you qualify, and what the processes and steps are to immigrate and land that overseas job. It's completely free. Download it today, and the link is also below this video. Now, let's dive in and look at the top 3 reasons you are getting caught up in the visa catch-22 situation, and I will show you exactly how to avoid it as well. So let's look at that problem. If you want to apply for jobs online and you're an immigrant job seeker or an international candidate, you would go to job ads online, and what you would usually see is this thing that says you must have a visa to apply for this position or something similar. So let me show you some examples of those kind of job ads online. And these examples here, you can see how many there are just on Seek New Zealand here. They all mention something like you must have the legal right to work in New Zealand, or you must have a visa to apply for this position, or something similar. So this one says you must have a legal right to work in New Zealand. And just this phrase is in 174 job ads. So if you want to apply from offshore, you literally can't, because you do not have the legal right already to work in New Zealand. Or if you're doing this in another country, you would be able to see this as well. And this literally stops people. This blocks them from applying because it's a catch-22 situation. You don't have a visa, you can't apply, but you need a job offer to apply for a visa. So how do you get past this? This is what I'm going to go through in this video. I'll show you another one that is just in Jora. So it doesn't just exist in Seek. And this is the same kind of phrase, and it's just in Jora, New Zealand. You can go and you can search for similar phrases. Look here in Jora is 340 jobs with this exact phrase. And if you want to apply for any of these jobs, it has this thing in it that says you can't, because you must first have the legal right. So it's very frustrating, isn't it? So how do you get past this? Well, the first reason that employers do this is because they don't want immigrants, and they don't want immigrants for different reasons, right? Sometimes it is a non-sponsor. So in this example here, it is an employer who is not a sponsor. And how do I know this? Well, this is for New Zealand, and I'm using New Zealand here. You can use any country in the world. You can do it with any country that you want to immigrate to. Usually, employers who can employ immigrants must be sponsors or legally authorized to employ immigrants by the government. So that's what we call sponsors. In New Zealand, we call those sponsors accredited employers. So how do we know if this employer here is an accredited employer? In New Zealand, we can go and check accredited employers in New Zealand. It is a publicly available list from the Immigration Department in New Zealand, Immigration Authority in New Zealand, and you can literally search. So if I search here for aspect technical, you'll see that that employer does not exist on this list, right? If I just search for the word aspect, you'll probably find other employers, but that employer is not an authorized
employer who can employ immigrants. So this is why they would say this in their job ad. And this is just one of the reasons. There are other reasons too. Sometimes the job is not suitable. For example, in New Zealand, you need to have a full-time job offer in most instances, from my experience working with immigrants. I'm not an immigration advisor, but this is just from my experience. So part-time, contracting work, those kind of work does not lend itself to be able to work with immigrants. So therefore, those roles advertised, you can literally not apply for any of them because you're not eligible, if that makes sense. So it all comes down to your eligibility. I know from certain roles, from my experience in working with many candidates in New Zealand, there are certain contracting roles which can qualify for immigration purposes. But unless you know your individual eligibility for your occupation, you will not know whether you are eligible to pursue such roles. And also, in some cases, there are certain requirements for certain pay. For example, here in Australia, this is the Immigration Authority in Australia, and they dictate what a certain role needs to be paid in certain instances. So it's called the core income skills income threshold. And that means that you have to find a job that pays a certain amount of money, or your employer that employs you as an immigrant has to pay you a certain amount of money. And that means that you cannot apply or qualify for any other role. So it details it here for specific skills, for core skills, etc., etc. So this is fairly technical and fairly complex. Again, it comes down to eligibility. So if you go onto a website and you want to apply for a job, how do you know if that job complies with this, which is just one of the requirements of many requirements? So in some instances, that's the case. Here in the Netherlands, you find something similar, and this is across many, many countries. This is just one requirement. Pay is just one requirement of many requirements. Here in the Netherlands, they also dictate a specific pay that has to be paid. I know it's the same in the UK. It is the same in many, many other countries. So unless you know your eligibility, whether you can pursue that kind of occupation, what it needs to pay, which employers, that's eligibility. Unless you know that, you can't just go and apply online for any job, because you don't know if this job is eligible, or you are eligible to pursue a role like that in your destination country. So that comes down to eligibility. And sometimes some roles require what we call unwritten requirements. For example, certain government roles in Australia require that you have citizenship or residence of specific countries. Some roles require security clearance if you work for companies that have government contracts. So all of these different things come to play. And unless you have the full picture of your eligibility, you can't just go online and apply for any job and think that you're going to get it. Because there are all these things that you need to consider that you can't find from online job ads. It's as simple as that. So how do you avoid this? I can literally go on and give you even more and more and more reasons and examples of all these things, but it comes down to eligibility. So how do we avoid it? Let's get to that. Number one is stop applying online. Seriously, stop applying online. The number one thing that will happen when you apply online is this catch-22 thing that says you must have the legal right. So you can go and research this anywhere in the world and you'll find this is present in most job ads. They literally tell you, we do not want immigrants. Some of the jobs doesn't have it written in it, but once you apply, you'll come across a question like it, or you'll get a response that says we don't want immigrants. So stop applying online. If you know it doesn't work, why do you keep doing it? The other way that you can pursue jobs that are not advertised online is accessing the hidden job market. Now, the hidden job market is actually where most jobs are. Let me quickly show you the size of the hidden job market. I'm going to explain the hidden job market in this way. Think about when an employer wants to employ someone. This is the process that they will go through. First, they're going to look at who they already have available in their talent pool. This talent pool consists of candidates who have applied before, people who send an expression of interest, actively recruiting people and adding their details to a database. This is what we call a talent pool in HR. So the employer is going to go there first and look if they have anyone available in the talent pool. At this point, the jobs are not advertised yet. So first thing is you need to be in that talent pool. That's a conversation for another day, but let's just think about it as this job has not been advertised yet. And this is how the biggest number of jobs get filled from an existing talent pool. Most employers have a strategy to fill their pools with people and talent so that they do not have to go and advertise, which costs money and time. If they couldn't find someone in the talent pool, they would go and find someone in their network. Now, the network is somewhere where an employer has access to a network of people that may know someone that they can employ. I'll give you an example. When I worked in a corporate company, our HR department consisted of 13 people. In the time that I was there, we recruited 6 people in that HR department. None of those jobs were advertised. They all came from referrals and recommendations from our network. So this is where you need to know people and your ideal employers. In fact, in New Zealand, you are 22 times more likely to land a job this way than applying for online. And then if an employer can't find someone, then they will informally advertise the job on their website, in a post on LinkedIn, not in a job ad on LinkedIn, in a Facebook group, in a Facebook page, etc., etc. So here they don't have to advertise and pay for a job ad. They just put it somewhere on the net, but it's not really a place where most people go and look. So it's not on Seek in New Zealand and Australia. It's not on LinkedIn Jobs. You potentially wouldn't know. I'm going to show you a way to find some of these jobs, but you potentially wouldn't know where these jobs are advertised. And if they can't find someone that way, then they go and advertise the job. Now, this here, all these 3 blocks, this is 80% of jobs, of opportunities out there. This is the hidden job market. Now, realize at this point, none of these jobs have been advertised in official job boards or job banks. So if an employer can't find someone, then they will go formally advertise a job on Seek, LinkedIn, Jobs, etc. This requires a lot of money for them, or they will need to get a recruiter, which is even more expensive. And most employers won't do this. So this 3 blocks here is the hidden job market. I'm going to show you this informal advertising, just a glimpse into how to find some of these jobs. So let me show you that. In New Zealand, if you go to seek.co.nz, this is where most people search for jobs, right? So we're just going to search for any job here and see how many jobs are advertised on Seek in New Zealand. Now, this is where a company would come and add a job ad. It costs them about $3,500 per month per job ad, and they would come and advertise jobs. At this moment, 15,184 jobs on Seek. But there's also another place. Now, let me back up here. Seek is a place, a job board, where employers come to list a job ad, list a job, okay? So Jora in New Zealand, Jora in Australia, Jora anywhere in the world, is a job search engine, like Indeed and Atzuna are also job search engines. What they do is they scrape the internet. It's like Google. They go around the internet and they look for job ads. So at the moment, you can see 40,000 job ads in New Zealand compared to 15,000 in Seek. Can you see the difference in just the hidden job market? Now, this is where employers have gone and advertised jobs on their website. Okay, so it's not even all opportunities. But can you see the difference between advertised jobs on Seek, which is that last block that we looked at in this figure here, formal advertising where they've got to pay money, and informal advertising where they maybe have put it on their website. This is the difference, 15,000 and 40,000. So let's go back and talk about why it is so important for you to stop applying online because of the hidden job market. So you have much better chance to land a job in the hidden job market than applying online where the ATS will block you. So stop applying online. So how else do you do this? There are different other strategies which I teach my international candidates, and that's how they land their jobs. And also, when you access the hidden job market, you have no competition. It's what we call blue ocean strategy. For that, you've got to be the most visible. So that's where you've got to build an audience who sees you. That is people inside your ideal employers, right? You put your profile in front of those audience, and you also get into the pool of those ideal employers with the virtual door knock strategy. That's another strategy. But you've also got to be the most valuable to be competitive with all the global competitors out there. So you can't just have a normal profile. You need to have a value profile. When I work with my elite career member candidates, I create a value profile for them. You also have to have eligibility. This is the first thing I will ask you. If you want to work with me, you've got to show me your eligibility assessment. And that means you need to know which jobs you can pursue in terms of your eligibility. That is where we get these requirements from that I've talked about before. And this is where we go and pursue those specific jobs. Okay, so pay rates, which employers we can work with, and other requirements in eligibility. So these are the reasons you are finding it hard and you're landing against that trap of the visa catch-22 situation because of the reasons I explained to you. Employers don't want immigrants. You are just applying online. You don't know who these employers are. You don't know if they can employ immigrants. You don't know if the job is suitable for immigrants even. And to avoid that trap, you can apply these different other strategies, but most importantly, stop applying online.
Now, don't forget to download that free resources from the link elitecareermentor.com/immigration that will help you figure out where to start, whether you qualify, and it's loaded with tools and resources to help you land an international job. The link is also below this video. And now that you know how to avoid that visa catch-22 situation, and now know that this is a result of an outdated job search strategy and applying online, you probably would like to know how to find your ideal employers and get in front of them. So for this, I recommend you watch this next video where I teach exactly how to find your ideal employers. Take care.